What I'm gonna do today is I'm making tacos with a little bit of a twist. So actually, it's called Indian tacos, and we make it all the time at home. So comment below, because I'm really curious if you've ever tried this before. I'm going to be cutting up some vegetables and frying some meat right now, and then I'm gonna come back, and while the meat's frying, I'm gonna make some bread. So let's get to cooking. And I did cut up some onions, and just want to cut up a half of the onion so that I could fry it with my ground beef to get started with the tacos. We're going to get started with just the basics for now, and then I'm going to make a bread because, like I said in the beginning, we're going to do tacos with a twist. Okay, so I'm just going to put the onions in the pan. And then I'm gonna put it on the stove and let it cook up a little bit. Then I'm gonna add my meat, and as it's cooking, I'm gonna get everything ready for my bread. So see you in a minute. Okay, so I have the onions frying up in the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and throw all of my hamburger meat in with the onions just to give it a little bit of flavor. I know I'm gonna try I thought of something. What I feel like I want to do is I want to go ahead and not necessarily have a story time, but just talk to you about, anything that's going on. Like, how was your day today? My day was great. I had an awesome morning at church, and it was amazing. So my idea for now is just to start cooking, and I'm just going to add my ingredients as I'm cooking. And then, like I said, in the description down below is going to be the measurements and everything that I need. So what do you think about that? Leave a comment below. So now that we have the meat in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some dough because, like I said, we're going to do fried bread. So old habits die hard. I'm still going to let you know what I'm using. I need 1 package of dry yeast. Put that in 1 cup of lukewarm water. And then we're gonna put an egg in there. Okay, so after you get your yeast in there, you want to let the yeast dissolve, sit for a minute or whatever, and you want to add an egg. So I'm gonna add an egg to that, whisk it up, and we're gonna go ahead and add our flour. So there's the egg and the yeast in there. Now we're going to measure out some flour. Add 3 cups of this special mix that I made. It's called sweet hot roll mix. That's I added other stuff to it before, so I wouldn't have to waste a lot of time trying to mix up this ingredient. That makes some dough for my fried bread. And this is the actual mix that I'm using for the actual dough that I mixed for my pizza that I made in a previous video. So I'm just going to mix all this up until it makes a little dough, and then we're going to lay out our little mat so that way I can knead it. I'm going to have to knead it for about 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, so I made the soft dough. I'm gonna roll it out onto a floured area here. Okay, so I mixed it until a soft dough forms, just like this. And now I'm gonna roll it out onto a little pad here, and I'm gonna knead it for about 6 to 7 minutes. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me kneading for 6 to 7 minutes, so I will come back to you and explain to you what it is that I am doing next. So a few minutes went by, 6 minutes, I think. Anyway, what I did was I have another bowl, and I did my kneading, and I formed it into a little round shape. I'm gonna stick it in there. And I'm going to go ahead and coat this, coat the dough, turning it once so I can get all the dough on there. The oil on the dough. And I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to put it in a warm place for about 45 minutes. Okay, so my meat is done. I'm going to go ahead and put some packages in there. I end up just buying taco mix so I don't have to, so I can hurry up and get this done, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna start out with 2 packages of taco mix and see how that works. Of course, I like spicy. So let's get some water in that. Mix that up real quick. Make sure all the seasonings and the spices get mixed up into that. I'm sure you guys all know how to make taco meat. Leave a comment below on how you guys make your taco meat. Like, what kind of spices do you put in yours? Like, I know a lot of people use cumin, maybe some garlic powder, maybe some onion powder. I'm just kind of cheating today, and I'm using the package from the store. So I just want to make sure that all dissolves in there. And I have my bread in the oven, and I don't have my oven on, but it's probably one of the warmest places. So I just have it sitting in there. I've got 40 minutes on the timer, and we're going to just go ahead and see how that is when it raises. And as soon as I stir up this meat, I'm going to cut up some vegetables for our tacos. Okay, time seems to be going fast for you guys, but this is a process. So I did my dough. I'm making my meat. It's actually on low right now, and it's just simmering down so all the flavor can get inside the meat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut up some vegetables, put it in a little bowl so I can have my tacos. So I have some tomatoes. I'm just going to cut up a few tomatoes because I don't really like tomatoes, but I like tomatoes. Doesn't make any sense to me either. So then I went to the store and cheated and got some shredded lettuce because I didn't want to cut it up either. And I've got some shredded cheese. I've got some olives. I've got some onions to put on top if you like onions on the top. I've got salsa, and I've got sour cream in the refrigerator. I'm just gonna, like I said, chop this up. My knife is not very sharp, so I apologize. That's one thing I gotta invest in, maybe a knife sharpener or something. All right, so I cut up the tomatoes. Gonna put some green onions in the bowl so I can have some onions possibly to go on top of my taco. I got that lettuce. I'm gonna go ahead and cut and put some in a bowl as well. Okay. And then I've got some olives, like I said. I'm gonna go ahead and open that. And that'll go in there. All right. So all the fixings I have: olives, lettuce, a little bit of onion, tomato, that looks like a lot of tomato. I've got some salsa, some cheddar cheese, and so far that looks really good. We've got 15 more minutes for the bread to come out. All right, so the dough came out of the, after proving it, it came out. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my mat here. What I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and try to make that pizza like I said I was going to do. And there's plenty here that I could do that with. So I'm gonna cut it into a piece and then we're gonna go over to the stove and we're gonna fry some bread. So let's get to cooking. All right, so I've got my dough. Like I showed you a minute ago. I've got my oil heating up and I believe that it is hot enough. And so I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. We're gonna fry some bread. I've got a little bag here so I can catch the grease as I'm frying. I put some dough away for a test run of what I'm gonna do. So let me go ahead and show you real quickly. This is what I do is I usually take like just a little bit here, make it into a ball, and just spread it out a little bit. Just keep spreading it out so that I can just make a little circle or whatever I'm needing. I don't know if it needs to be, it doesn't have to be a certain shape, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it into the oil. I'm going to face this down so you can see. There we go. Here's the first one to go in the oil. And you see it start to bubble up nicely. Immediately comes to the top. And I'm going to go ahead and start on another one. It's not going to make that much because I didn't make a very big amount. So if it starts to get sticky, then you could put some more flour on it. So throw that in there. A beautiful color that is on that side. I did a whole bunch of them. So I did a little experiment on like the air fryer. I'll show you that in a second, but what I want to do is I want to take this out, get it over to the counter, and build my taco. Okay, I've got the fried bread here. Can you see that? That is the fried bread I made. Now, I do have 2 pieces on my plate, but this one is the air fryer, no oil. Maybe just a little spray of olive oil on the top just so it could cook up a little bit. This one is in grease, obviously, but you see how that fluffed up a little bit? This one stayed kind of flat. So you just basically build your taco the same way you would if you had a soft shell or a hard shell. And what I like to do is I like to put the cheese on the bottom. The cheese I like to put on the bottom of, I'm gonna make 2 tacos, one with the air fryer bread and one with the oil bread. So, okay, so I like to put the cheese on the bottom and then you just build up from there. Okay, so I built my taco and put all the fixings on it, but that, my dears, is called an Indian taco. So let's try the air fryer first. The air fryer one kind of feels like a cracker. It's kind of hard. So let's just give this a shot. Let's give this a shot. Okay, here goes. It's the same consistency. It's It's a little harder, but it's holding together pretty good. Okay, so now that I tried the air fryer one, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. This is the one in the oil, and it actually is it's lighter, it's fluffier, and it's kind of a little bit more flimsy, but it's nice, round. All the fixings are stuck right in the middle there. So let's give it a shot. Well, there you have it, guys. My Indian tacos. Like, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell, because when I make another video, you'll know.